We are going to know about how to interface Ico Board with the Raspberry Pi Pi. Now open the terminal and give the following link. By giving SVN code, you will completely download all the folders which are in the provided link. The link is for downloading the directory for the Ico Board and Raspberry Pi interfacing, along with the two experiments you are going to conduct today. It will take a little time to get download. So now once it is downloaded, go to the folder. In that Ico Board folder you have to open. You will find a .pdf format you have to open so that you will get the PDF. This was the link which was given, and now you have given the same link on the terminal and you have downloaded the whole directory. So first for doing the experiment you need to do the hardware setup. For doing the hardware setup for the Ico Board, you have to download the following tools. First, open the terminal and download the wiring pi tool. The first command basically is for the cloning the wiring pi. Now it is done. Give the next command. It is for the cd wiring pi .build. It is for installing the wiring pi. So now once the wiring pi installation is done, give the next one. This command is for to install the build essential. Make sure you type everything same as it is provided in the manual. The slight difference will cause the error. So now it's done. Give the next command. For downloading the Ico Board tool. once it is done, give the next command for make install. It will install the Ico Board tool. So once it is done, close the terminal and open the new terminal and give the next command for downloading the iStorm. Now Ico Pro is done. Open new terminal. Give the next command. Similarly, you have to install all the tools one by one. Once you install the first tool, it's better you close that terminal and open the new terminal. Else you can give in the same terminal. This last the uses, it will take a little more time while getting installed. This will install the uses. It will take minimum 20 minutes for the installation purpose. So now it's done. We have downloaded all the necessary tools required for the Ico Board. Now there are two programs which are going to do, that is 4-bit binary input and the 7-segment display. Before that, let's know about the pin configuration, how the Ico Board and the Raspberry Pi pin are connected to each other. This figure 2 and 3, you can see these are the Ico Board pin configurations, where you will see RPI, IO2, IO1, these kind of pins written on that figures, where you have to see, for example, if you see RPI IO1, then you have to see which pin of it connected to the Ico Board pin, like C3, D4, it is shown here. at the end of in the middle line. C3, C4, those are your Ico Board pins. Once you get to know which pin of the Ico Board is connected to the RPI IO pins, in the RPI you can give only 10 as inputs for the Ico Boards. If you are interfacing a Ico Board with the Raspberry Pi, then there are only 10 pins which you can use as an input. Total you will get the 15 pins. Remaining 5 are used for different purposes. Like one is used for the clock and so on. And in figure 4 you can see the Raspberry Pi pin configurations. If you get the RPi IO1, here you can see the pin which is connected to the pins. In case it is a RPi IO3, there is a pin, it is 16. In this way, if you type it in terminal, if you type a pin out, you will get that pin configuration thing. And this is for the pin configuration of the Ico Board. Once you get to know how to make the pin configuration, we can change the pin configuration in the code and give the different pins and see how it will work. Now first, going to the hardware setup, we are going to the 4-bit binary input. For that you have to make the connections according to the provided table and follow the steps to execute the code. In this experiment, we are going to give the binary input so that we can get the decimal output. We are giving the input manually. For now, just have a look at codes. So now once you open the code, for writing a code you have to write the 3 files. One is for .5 Python code, PCF file and .v Verilog code. You have to open in chain all the files, and you can see this is the PCF file where you are declaring the inputs, and this is the binary file, Python file, where you will give the inputs and it will get converted into the decimal, and this is the Verilog file where you will declare input output for the Ico Board. So first, in PCF file, here are the capital ABCD and which are connected to the some pins A5, A2, C3, B4 of the Ico Board. These are nothing but the input pins which are connected to the Raspberry Pi file, and small ABCD, those are the manual input pins which are going to give. Now for the Python thing, here you are declared which pins, GPIO pins. These are the D6, C6, C7, D7 pins of the Ico Board, and 12, 15 are the Raspberry Pi pins, Raspberry Pi input pins, which we have given accordingly to the pin configuration as explained earlier. And this line is for converting the binary input into decimal. Here the binary input, it will get converted into decimal and it is printed on the screen. Now it is the Verilog file. Here we will declare the input wires and the output will be declared as output register and assign output to the input. It is basically a decoder file where you will give the 4 inputs. And now going back to the PDF, you will see here are the commands, and you can execute the code by giving the terminal. But make sure before giving this command you have done the hardware connections according to as explained earlier in the PDF. This CD Ico Board, CD trunk, CD code, CD binary, these are for the opening the folders. Once you going into the directory, you have to run the code by going in the directory. Now you are going make that f name equal to binary. This is for running your Verilog. Once you give the command, your Verilog code will run. Yeah, now Verilog code is done. You have to give the Python code. Once you give the Python code, you can see all the decimal value which is given as 0. Means you have connected all the pins to the ground. The value of 0000 is 0. If you change the value to the 0110, and you will get the output as 6. If you want to make it as a 0110, then you have to connect first pin to the ground and next two pins to the VCC. VCC will take input as a 1 and ground will take input as a 0. First two pins which you have declared are the MSB and the second two pins are the LSB. Accordingly, you make the connections and give the binary input whichever you want, but only 0 to 9, and you will get the output. You can also make any kind of changes in the you can also make any kind of changes while giving the input, but make sure you give the connections properly so that you can get the output. Once you give the Now let's start with the hardware connection for 4-bit binary input. First place the Ico Board on the Raspberry Pi in this way, and now make the connections according to the table 1. And now this yellow wire, it is of 3.3 volt pin. I will connect it on the breadboard, and this white wire is of ground pin, and I will connect it to this side on the breadboard. Suppose you want to give you want to get the value of 0, connect all the pins to the along with the white pin, that is to the ground pin. And now run the code according to the given commands in the PDF, and the value you will get it is a 0. Now if you want to change the values and give the different values, if you remove the pins and connect it to this side, means that to the 3.3 volt pin, that will indicate it as a 1, and the pins you connect to the ground, it will indicate it as a 0. In this way you can make the changes and give different values and see the output, get the output. For the 7 segment display, you have to first go to the manual. In manual, the 7 segment display is explained. For running the 7 segment display code, just you have to make the connections according to the table. The pin configuration is provided here, and how it is connected to the Ico Board in 7 segment it is shown in the table. But make sure while connecting the COM, you connect a resistor along with that. Now after opening the terminal, give the commands which are provided in the PDF, that is cd Ico Board, the cd Ico Board, cd trunk, cd code, cd binary, these are the name of the folder. Cd command is used to open that directory. Once you enter into the directory, you have to run the code. Make sure if you run the code directly, it will not execute, so you have to open those directory. cd Ico Board, it's done. cd trunk, cd codes. If the folder, if you want to change the folder, you have to just make sure while running the code you enter those folders names here, and this make f name will execute the Verilog code, your binary.v, 7.v. It will execute your binary file Once it's done, run the Python code by giving the following command: python 7.py. If it shows such kind of things and if you don't get the output, then go to the codes where you have 7.py file. Here you can see GPIO cleanup. You have to cut that GPIO cleanup from there and you have to paste at the end of the program, and Control S, you have to save the program. And now just go back to the terminal and run the Python code. Run it one more time. Now you will not see any kind of error, and once it is done, cut the GPIO cleanup from there and paste it as it was earlier, and now save and run the code. You will not get any errors and your code will get executed. The hardware connections are shown in the next following, and the hardware connections are shown in the next video. So now let me tell you the connections of the 7-segment display. Now place the Ico Board on the Raspberry Pi, similarly as it is said in the previous one. Now place the 7-segment display on the breadboard and make the connections according to the table 2. Okay, now I have connected the pins to the Ico Board. From Ico Board, it is said the first pin should be connected to the A of the 7-segment display. The values for 7-segment display, it is given in the PDF. At last, it is connected to the A, and second pin is connected to the B, and the third pin is connected to C. The fourth pin is connected to D. The fifth pin is connected to E. Next pin is connected to F, and this pin, last pin, is connected to G. The VCC pin, for connecting the VCC pin, you have to connect a resistor to the along with the COM pin and connect the VCC with this. And now run the commands given as shown in the PDF. As in the code that is given in the, according to the manual, the code which is there, in that the value is given as 0110. In that case, when you run the code, the 6 should be displayed on the 7-segment display. Once you run the code, you will get output as 6 because the value given in the code is 0110. If you get any error like GPIO cleanup, then go to the Python code, remove the GPIO cleanup from there and paste it at the end of the code, and now run the code twice and then again paste the GPIO cleanup where it was on the first place, and now run the code. Now you will get output without any error.